What's good, fam? Welcome back. Been a little bit since I made a video. Been dealing with a little bit of weather. A couple days in a row was too windy to do anything. It was just, there was no way I would have been able to, you guys would have heard me. And then it was snowing and stuff, and couldn't make no video then. But plus life been hitting me a little bit, you know. I really feel, I honestly believe this, that there is a cost for sharing the truth. You know, getting hit with the finances, and just different areas that I thought I had already healed, and kind of bringing back up, and it's like, wow. So I really do, which is a good thing, but I definitely been getting hit with a few curveballs here in life, and it's right coinciding with me starting to make these videos and do what I feel that I've been called to do and what my purpose is. Interesting. So I'm gonna stay on that for a minute. I really do feel like that's kind of a sign that you're doing the right thing. I really do believe that. When you're getting resistance, it's a sign that you're shining pretty bright. And in order for a light bulb to shine, if all the energy that was in that electrical socket were to go through that light bulb all at one time, the light bulb would shatter, because it's just too much energy going through there. So in the filament and all that, I don't know exactly how it works, but I know that there's a level of resistance. It has to resist all the energy, and that's what makes the light shine. So in order to shine, there is a level of resistance that needs to take place in physics, and as above, so below. Everything is connected. Shadows, types and shadows. The mystery of life. But there is a level of resistance that needs to take place. So I'm feeling it. And that's why, another reason I haven't been making these videos. But you know what? I was like, I can't just stop. There's something inside of me that wants to speak. There's things I need to say. I'm not just going to let life, just because of where I'm at in my life, stop me from doing what I feel like I'm called to do. Because I feel like this will lead me to another place in my life, right? A place I've been trying to get for a long time, but again, wasn't ready for. So here we go. Not how I was planning to start the video, but I just freestyle these things, man. I go into it with kind of an idea of what I want to talk about, and just start talking. Let the spirit just start talking. My higher self, the true me, the real me, God, whatever you want to call it. Just let my authentic self breathe. You know what I'm saying? And it's worked so far. That's what I'm going to continue to do. I'm not saying these videos are great or anything, but they're good enough. I'm proud of them. I'll rewatch them, and I'm like, I didn't make a complete fool of myself in that one. Plus I said what I felt I needed to say. I covered whatever topic I was talking about fully. So with that said, the topic today: what is the truth? What is truth? Okay? Very deep topic. Again, I'm trying to touch on all these deep ones. The mysteries of life. Why we're here. What helps us grow. What is the truth? Right? These are important questions. What is the truth? Is there one truth? Is there one truth that nothing can deny? I believe there is. I believe the ultimate truth is that this is a creation. And in order for this to be a creation, that would mean that there has to be a creator. I believe ultimate truth points to, yes, there is a creator, because the web of life, when you see a watch and it keeps time perfectly, and all those intricate parts within the watch perfectly harmonized, working together efficiently to create a little machine that keeps time perfectly. All these intricate parts working together as a whole. The watch tells you that there's a creator of the watch, as does creation. Every intricate part, every intricate detail, harmonizing, harmoniously working together as a whole. Even the human body, you look at it, it's got intricate little pieces, the DNA, all these different things that you look at and you're like, wow, that looks like a machine. It looks like a fact. It points to design. Creation points to creator. I would say that's one of the main truths that can't be denied. Cause and effect. If I touch that burning stove, my finger is going to get a blister. If I jump from the roof, I'm going to hit the ground. I can't sprout out. You see what I'm saying? These are universal truths. Cause and effect. I would say the way you karma, the way you treat people, how you behave is how you are treated. I'd say that's a universal truth. You know, you go into a place with a really good attitude, man, people are going to treat you with a really good attitude. You go into a place just pissed off at the world, pissed off at life, they're going to treat you that way. You know? Cause and effect. There go the birds. I believe these are universal truths. That there are definitely universal truths. That energy can never cease to exist. It only can be transmutated. You are energy. God is energy. You are eternal. You will never cease to exist. I believe this is a universal truth. You know? So, and then, but we as a culture and as a society, then we come to agreement on certain things. And then that becomes a certain truth. Like, we agree that you have to have this money, this piece of paper, and that we've given this thing value, and that you need it to buy a home or a car or food, clothing. So now that's become a truth. But if we changed our mind and said, no, we're going to this gold or this silver, we're going to say that this is now the standard of value. That piece of paper no longer has any value. Well, that truth has now changed. That's what I'm saying. Truth has to be true, meaning unchangeable, right? So we get into religion, and they say this is the truth. Jesus is the truth, the way, the truth, and the life. And no man come to the Father but through him. but yet they don't actually teach what he was actually teaching. That I and the Father are one. When you have seen me, you have seen the Father. That there's no separation between me and divinity, right? They don't even teach what he was actually teaching, what they crucified him for. Called it blasphemy. That's what they killed him for saying that he was God, that he and the Father were one. But yet we call that the truth. But yet his teachings, what they're saying in the Bible are his actual teachings, that you have to believe in this blood sacrifice in order to be saved and go to heaven. That heaven's this external place. That's not what he was teaching. That's not the truth. But yet we've agreed that that's the truth in Christianity. But that's not what he was teaching. He said the kingdom is within. That the kingdom is at hand, not some faraway place or some outside place that is outside of you. He says that it's inside of you. The kingdom is within. His own teachings. But yet we say that that's not the truth. Right? So the stuff that people have agreed upon as truth, all of a sudden now is the truth. Truth is subjective. Based on my experiential knowledge, what I know to be the truth, based on my experience, if you've never had that experience and you've never experienced it, you're going to say that's not the truth. Because I've never experienced it, therefore I don't believe it. It's not the truth. So based on experiential knowledge and your own personal experience, that's what the truth is in your life. That's what you believe the truth to be. Every person, from their own perspective, is the hero. You're the hero. You have done everything to the best of your ability. You see things the way you see things because of the way that life has been, your experience has taught you that that's how life is. You do your best. You think that you're even though, so anyone who's against you, what does that make them if you're the hero? It makes them the villain. And every single person living is the hero in their own story. Meaning anyone who comes against them is the villain in their own story, from their perspective. And every single person sees life from this perspective. But we don't understand that. So the truth is different from every single individual's perspective. That's the truth. So, but that doesn't change that there is universal truth. That God exists. But not the God that we've all said is the truth. The true God. That God is subjective, again, based on what book you're reading, what belief system you adhere to, uphold. But the truth is, God is not outside of you. God is energy, God is consciousness, God is awareness, God is existence itself. God is creation itself. The Creator experiencing itself through its creation so that it may know itself. That's you. That's the truth. That's what you're here doing. But people would rather say, no, they don't want that responsibility. That's scary, man. To have full-blown responsibility for your life. It's scary. And most people are afraid of that truth. But that is the truth. That you are the creator of your existence, of your reality. And if you don't like something, you have the power to change it. People don't like that truth. They like blaming others for their situation. They like blaming God, a God outside of themselves, for their situation. That's not the truth. And again, from my perspective, from what I have experienced in my life and what I've seen, conversations I've had, the way, the life-changing help, wisdom to see when you share something with somebody and they simply just change their perspective, take those old glasses off and put the new ones on, take that old truth, throw it away and put a new truth in there, a new perspective, a new viewpoint, a new way of thinking, a new perspective and understanding, a new truth. That one little tweak all of a sudden changes everything. They take their power back. They stop blaming other people. They start taking responsibility and say, okay, how do I fix it? And then their truth changes. Their reality changes. You know? So, and that's what we need to understand. That there is no one universal, like I said, other than that we are God and we are here experiencing ourselves, trying to evolve as a soul, trying to grow through experiential knowledge. Other than that, one universal truth, everything is subjective. And we need to understand that. We need to stop making other people have to believe what we believe. You know, they have free will and they have their own personal experience and they have their own viewpoint and understanding of what the truth is to them. And we're all in different places on the evolutionary scale as a soul, as an individual soul. Which, yes, even though you are a piece of the whole, which is God, you still are an individual soul, and you do still have your individuality. That's a truth. That's a universal truth right there, 100%. That even though you are God as a whole, you are still an individual, fractal, piece of God as an individual. Your fingerprint, your DNA would suggest so, would tell you so. That you are one of a kind. They can identify you by your DNA, by your fingerprint. Same with every snowflake. Same with every tree ring. See what I'm saying? Every single thing is a different piece of God. So even though it's an individual, it is part of the whole. Don't let that get confusing. I know it does get confusing, but it's not. It shows you who and what you really are, why you're here, what you're doing. You're here for the experiential knowledge, the wisdom, the growth, to evolve as a soul. That's what you're doing. So again, if we can come to that point where we understand that every single person sees things in their own way, and that's fine, as long as we're all headed to the same place, love, right? As long as we're all heading to unity, consciousness, oneness, creating this new earth, this higher frequency, as long as we're all heading to that direction, as long as the destination is the same, which it is, we all eventually come to light, come to love, come to the highest frequency, return home to what we already were. You already are that. You're just remembering who you are. That's what this whole thing is. Like I said, it's God that turned into a billion different pieces only to come back to be whole again and unified again. That's what this whole thing is. But the destination, even though that is the same, the journey and the route and the way that we get to that destination is different for every single individual. And we have to understand that. And we have to have the love and the acceptance and you know, the conviction within our own selves to be like, I don't need you to believe what I believe to still believe it. Because I know that it's the truth based on what I have experienced. My truth can be different from your truth, and that's okay. And we can still love each other. We can still agree to disagree. Still accept each other's different viewpoints and different perspectives. That's okay. You know, that's what the evolution of a soul is all about. One is at one point on their journey, the other is on a different point. We can share our perspective with each other. Some of it resonates, some of it doesn't. You throw away what you don't agree with, you keep what you do agree with, and you continue on your journey. Your evolutionary process as a soul. So much simpler that way. That's the way, that's the truth of life. That's the way it should be. Truth is subjective. There is not just one truth other than, like I said, there is a God, and that you are that God experiencing itself to grow and learn. Other than that, the truth can change based on what you've learned, what you believe to be the truth, that the earth was flat or it's not, whatever you want to call it. I personally, I could see it being a plane, but I could also see it being a portal. I could also see it being spherical because of the planets and all that stuff. You see what I'm saying? It could have just been a psyop for them to, who knows? So it's subjective. But everyone's like, no, you have to believe this one way. You have to believe this is God's word. You have to believe that heaven and hell are real and you only live once. And based on if you believe and accept the sacrifice of Christ, you're either going to heaven or hell. Man, we have to get past that place of judging everybody. You know what I'm saying? Of condemning everybody because they don't believe the same truth that we believe. So that's my opinion. That's what I think of truth and what the truth is. Yes, there is a universal truth, but truth can also be subjective based on personal experience. So, there it is. Like I said, I've been getting hit. I've been watching, like I said, I'm going to be doing my testimony and other videos. But it feels like something was coming against me, you know, for sharing my truth with you guys. Because through testimony and through experience, you know, through our experience, we can help others. Like I said, some of them will take it, some of them won't. Chew the meat, spit out the bone. Take what resonates, disregard what doesn't. That's my advice with every single thing, to every single person, every single day that we live. Do that constantly. What resonates, keep. What doesn't, throw away. So, all right, guys, much love. Blessings to you. I'll see you on the next one.